back on the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel today, and today I'm going to be playing with the Spade Meraki Paradise. So as you can see, I have already cut out quite a few of the lavender shaped die cut here out of just, this is actually Copic friendly paper, but I'm not going to be doing any sort of crazy blending or anything like that. So you don't actually need to use Copic friendly or alcohol friendly paper for this. And I have gone ahead and I've marked up all of the different kind of color combinations that I'm looking to use. So the only one that I'm 100% sure of is the purple one for the actual lavender itself. And I'm actually going to be showing you two different sort of ways of coloring these flowers. Now, this is the first one that I've done, and I've gone for a very kind of like soft pastel-y look. I did actually end up liking the second way much better, so I actually covered this one as well with my second way of coloring. So I feel like that one gives a much more natural look. So I basically cover the lavender part with my darkest purple, and I'm just going to go over and kind of saturate it quite a lot. I mean, this part you don't have to be careful at all. And then I'm going to go in with my second darkest color, or yeah, another color, which is a lighter color. And we're going to go and kind of like dot this over the dark one to kind of lighten up that dark purple to get a little bit of a mottled look. And this helps give a bit of texture and dimension and a much more natural look. So I will show you a close-up of these once they are both finished, and hopefully you'll see what I mean. And then as I said, this color chart here on the side as well, I just have lots of different color like combinations of greens, because I wanted all of the stems to have a natural but not totally samey look. So once I've done gone over the lavender parts with all of the colors, I've then gone back in with a little bit of dark to kind of stipple in some of that, just add a little bit depth to it really. I haven't done this on every single one because I did want them all to look a little bit different like they do in nature really. So for the green part, what I've done is I've gone in with my darkest color first, and where I kind of want a little bit of depth and shadow and dimension. And then I've gone in with a lighter color on top to blend it out a little bit. And then I've gone in with a third, much lighter color to add in those highlights and kind of where, you know, you would picture kind of like the sun would hit. If you imagine like imagine a field of lavender and you think, you know, it's not all going to be the same, is it? So what I have done is I've colored in all of these pieces with sort of, I mean, the purples are obviously the same, but then I have mixed and matched the greens a little bit more than I have, oh, and here we are. We're going to have a quick look at that. Look at that. So I hope you can agree with me that the one on the left looks just so much nicer and much more natural. So I did actually go ahead and I cover that one up as well, and I've done them all the same now. So of course I needed quite a lot of these because the idea was to make a card with kind of like a lavender bunch of like, imagine you come home from the market and you just picked up a big bunch of fabulous fresh lavender. So to make a little wrap, you're going to want to take a piece of brown or craft colored cardstock. I've got this lovely sort of linen textured one, and then you cut out a square that is 4 inches by 4 inches or 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. Then using a grid mat, you put this in the middle and you line up your corners. So you're going to want it to be basically in the middle. So your corners on one line and these corners on the vertical line. So horizontal, vertical, and then take a ruler or something flat and straight and go to the middle, which is roughly here. So you put your ruler down and then you go all the way, you draw a line. You're going to see I've already done it. So you draw a line from the middle of that almost straight down to this point here. It doesn't have to be right at that point, just kind of somewhere in that region. And then you do the same thing on the other side, another line, and then get your scoreboard out and using like a Teflon bone folder and score along these lines so you get these nice folded over lines. Now these don't have to be like super flat, because it's gonna kind of look, it's gonna mimic, you know, like paper wrap that you get at the market and things like that. And then you're gonna take your flowers. Now here you have a choice, so you can either keep it so that it's wrapped up, or you can trim this off and have some of the bottoms of your stems poking out. I am probably gonna leave mine inside. And then open this up, and we're gonna take some liquid adhesive, and we are going to put some down basically here. Quite generously, because this dries clear anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it ends up showing through a little bit. And then start layering up your flowers so that you get like an even spread basically of them. So some of the bigger ones here like that, and just so that it kind of looks wild and natural, you know. And then just carry on layering them up like so. Okay, so your top layer is probably not gonna actually reach down to your adhesive. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit more and put on the inside of your flap. Like so. And actually do both of them. And then we're going to fold these over by trying to keep all your flowers in place. So fold and hold, and fold and hold, like so. And then we're just going to hold this for a little while so that it actually does all stick together. Once that is drying, we are going to start working on our background, and I'm going to be using the Dance With Me mini slimline die, and it's got a fabulous gorgeous pattern, and I just cut this out of white cardstock because I just love using cover plates on white cardstock to just bring a little bit of fun interest to your backgrounds. So instead of just having a plain white one, I love using cover plates of all sorts and textures for just to, you know, for that extra fun element. One thing I didn't think to do before I decided to actually use the big size of the wrap was actually measure how long it was going to be. So I am actually going to trim off the bottom of the wrap. So we're just going to snippily snip with scissors here, and then on the back of this I'm actually going to be using a little bit of foam tape to raise this up. And because the way of how I stacked the flowers inside of the wrap, it actually is a little bit of a gap now. So it just really brings the illusion of like a full bunch of lavender in that wrap. It's so much fun. And we're going to be using a sentiment from the special delivery stamp set, and I've stamped this up in purple to keep with the sort of lavenderish style of the card with everything. And then I was kind of playing around like, where am I gonna put this, because I sort of knew that I wanted to use ribbon of some kind to kind of make it look like, again, kind of like twine or something. But I even after poking a hole in my sentiment strip, I couldn't get this baker's twine through it, so I ended up having to go a different route and use a much skinnier one. However, I do love how this one turned out, so it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a big deal that it didn't work out with the twine. And I think if you do want to use like a nice baker's twine to kind of go with that rustic country feel, just maybe punch a hole before you stamp your sentiments, or make your sentiment strip wider and slightly bigger so that you can actually punch a hole big enough for your baker's twine. I think I'm going to try that next time because I think it will look really nice. And then just tie a little bow with this, with the ribbon, with the extra ribbon or thread, whatever you decide to use, and then glue that down onto your wrap so that it doesn't flip-flop about. You will see on the back of mine, I've actually used a scrap piece of cardstock that I've got some ink on already, so this is a great way of using up all your scraps and not wasting paper, because, you know, crafty waste is pretty bad, isn't it? And with that, once this is dried, I'm all done. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to the Crafty Meraki YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you don't miss another upload. With that, I'm all done. See you soon again. This was Erica for Crafty Meraki.